Joining me now, Senior Research Fellow for Homeland Security, Lora Ries. Lora, we've seen all the videos. We've seen all these eye-popping numbers about people pouring into the country. One question I have for you, I can't ever get an answer on it. Specifically, where are these people being shipped to? Do we know? Is there like one area more concentrated than the other?
I think they're being sent all over, but you make a good point in that it needs more tracking, both by Department of Homeland Security and by Health and Human Services, who are responsible for the minors.
Okay, speaking of the minors, the numbers of minors are shock. I mean, we're hearing numbers like 19,000 in a month. That is unbelievable. Can you explain why minors unaccompanied? Who is sending these kids? Where are they going once they get here? What is this minors thing?
So the family situation can vary. It may be that a parent is already in the U.S. and they are bringing up a child to join them, or the parent is in Central America and sending the child on ahead because they know that child will get into the U.S. and therefore is a foothold to get into the U.S. And at a later date, the parent can join the child. But here is why children are getting in the numbers that they are. And in July, yes, it was 19,000 unaccompanied children. I would note Secretary Mayorkas just held a press conference and finally announced the July numbers. He said that the overall numbers has risen 13% to 212,000. He did not say the numbers for unaccompanied alien children, so I can't imagine it's good news. But going back to why so many unaccompanied children, two reasons. One, Secretary of Homeland Security keeps saying, if you come here as an unaccompanied child, you will not be turned away. So of course, that's going to incentivize more parents to send their children unaccompanied because they know they will get in. Second is the law that the Democrats introduced and passed back in 2008. It is literally was called the Unaccompanied Alien Child Protection Act. And it showers benefits on unaccompanied children. It says you have to parole them in because they're children. You have to give them taxpayer guardian ad litem because they're children. You cannot put them in expedited removal, and on and on and on. Then a few years later, the left argues, well, we have to give green cards to anyone who came in as children. It's perverse, and intended or not, they have built an immigration system on the backs of children.
Good grief. Okay, I don't even want to ask this question, but where are they going? Obviously, we don't have kids stacked up like sardines down there. I mean, we do, but at some point in time, they have to move them out somewhere. Where?
Well, they're supposed to join a parent if they're here, or a relative if they're here, guardian. Otherwise, if there's no qualifying parent or guardian, then a sponsor. And so then you're getting into some fuzzy territory here. And because the children number and so many, Health and Human Services is having difficulty finding adequate sponsors to take these children in. And so you see the pipeline kind of back up, and you see so many children at the HHS facilities. When they are scrambling to find sponsors, the standards will decrease. And that means they're going to be releasing them to sponsors who themselves could be illegal aliens, may have minor, quote unquote, crimes or criminal history. This is not going to end well for these children. And again, we still don't know where all they're going because they're not being tracked, and they should be.
Is it possible to deport them ever? Or we don't deport a single child, whoever arrives here unaccompanied? That never happens?
Well, under this administration, they're hardly deporting anybody. And that was the direction from day one, where they told Immigration and Customs Enforcement to not deport anyone for the first 100 days. Now, a Texas judge overruled that, but the result is still that about 90% of ICE's work has just been halted. So in terms of who is deported, it tends to be more single adult males. The Department of Homeland Security put out a study in December tracking a large number of people who came in from, I think, 2014 through 2019. And the family units were largely still here, and the children were largely still here.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the first on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me, like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.